team, if your ankle mobility is preventing you from getting your heels down in a deep squat, this video is for you. So the benefit of practicing or being able to do a full deep squat that you can do whenever you need to, any time of day, and stay there comfortably, is that when we can do that, means we have great mobility in our hips, knees, and ankles. So then it means that those joints are staying really healthy and mobile as we age. So especially if you're over 30 years old, you want to make sure you can maintain the position of the deep squat. So what am I talking about? So instead of your deep squat being like this, with your heels down, you might be somewhere like here. So you go on your deep squat and your heels just don't touch the ground, or maybe you can get the heels down, but you feel like you're about to do this, right? Every time you get in the deep squat, you feel like there's too much weight back. And then this can happen if you have stiffness or limited range of motion in your ankles. Now, this can be limited by the actual joint range of motion, in which case you might feel it at the front of your ankle, or you can also get it if you are tight or restricted in your calf length and your Achilles tendon. So that means that you might need to work on the back. Now, I'm going to take you through some exercises you can follow along with me in today's video specific to your ankle mobility. Now, I want to say, as well as doing these ankle mobility exercises consistently, you also just want to practice your deep squat. So that means that maybe when you go to spend each minute in your deep squat each day, you might need to roll up a towel and put it underneath your heels so that you can actually stay there for a period of time that's comfortable for you. Head to and maybe I'll try and put the link above, head to our video that shows you how to do the 30-day deep squat challenge. So you can do that as well as the ankle mobility exercises I'm going to show you in today's video. All right, let's get started. So the first exercise I want to show you is a general ankle mobility exercise called a ankle car, which is a controlled articular rotation. What I suggest is sit onto the floor on a cushion or a stool so that you're comfortable first. I'm going to get my right leg in front, and then I'm going to hook my right arm underneath my knee. Now, once I've done this, I'm going to hold onto my upper left arm and bring my top of my left hand onto my shin. From here, I'm going to go for a full ankle circle. So I'm going to pull my toes back towards my shin and start circling slowly and controlled one direction. So I'm getting into all the corners of my ankle range of motion. This is definitely an exercise you can do daily, and every time you repeat this exercise, you want to try and get just a little bit more out of your range of motion. So I'm going to do about 5, one direction, so come and do this with me, and then we reverse. So we do 5 nice big slow ankle circles. Think of that big toe getting its biggest range of motion possible. We'll do one more on this side, and then coming down, and we swap. Okay, so this is just a great general mobility exercise. So left arm under my left thigh, hold on to my upper arm, and grab hold onto my shin. Now I do this when I pull the toes back, and I start circling in one direction. 2, nice and slow and controlled. 3, having more ankle range of motion has benefits in all aspects of our life. Getting up and down the stairs especially, things like that, we require ankle mobility. And then reverse, not just a deep squat. 1, I've reversed directions and I'm trying to get into all the corners. 2, you might even get a bit of a shake that you're trying so hard. 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Coming on down. We're going to work through a couple of different positions now that you can sit in to help with your ankle mobility. So the first one is feet and knees together, heels together at the back, and we're going to sit onto our heels. Spread your toes. I like to untuck my pinky toe if it gets a bit stuck there. And if you find this too strong, you might even just start with leaning onto the hands here and then slowly making your way up till our body is upright. We'll stay here for about a minute, and again, you can build it up. If you can just tolerate 10 seconds and then come out of it, and then go back in, take a few more breaths, come out of it. But ultimately, we want to try and hold here. This is working on our toe mobility, our ankle mobility, also so good for our knees. We need this deep knee flexion when we are working on our deep squat. So it's important just to sit here, take a few deep breaths to disarm our nervous system, to tell the body, this is a great position. You might be starting to feel it, a bit of a build up, especially that fascia in the back of the bottom of the feet. This is all good, team, all good. So we'll stay here for about one more breath. And then the next one we're going to come out of, bring the feet a little bit more hip width. And we are going to balance now onto our toes. So we're just keeping our body upright over our hips, and we're just balancing here on our toes. You might find this balance a little challenging, but it's really important that we're not just working on ankle flexibility. We also need a fair bit of stability. So our ankles are working really hard in this position to stabilize me, to keep me, but I'm still like working on its range. So I'm gonna keep breathing, see if I can balance. You can even try slightly different position here by bringing the knees up and opening the front of the ankle. See if you can do it without toppling over. And then you can come back to have the knees in line. Let's hold here for one more breath for 3, 2, and 1, and then slowly come out. You might even want to just bang the top of your feet onto the ground for a little bit of a release. Okay, so the next one we're going to work on our ankle mobility is working on bringing the knee over the toe. So working on this ankle flexion. So I'm just in a half kneel. If this position isn't comfortable, you can even do the standing and bring this leg up onto a bench or a chair. Same position, same thing, absolutely fine. So work with what's going to work for you. I'm going to bring my hands on the top of the knee here, and then from here I'm going to drive the knee over the toe, trying to get as much weight over that knee and bringing the knee as far as I can over the toe. Little pause, and then I drive the foot into the ground and I come back. As I practice this one, I can even get a weight, like a dumbbell, and I can sit it on the top of this thigh here and bring a bit more load onto this joint. So I'm really loading the front of the ankle here. I'm driving it down, and then I'm pushing the foot into the ground so it maintains its strength in this range of motion. So over, hold, press. Let's go for about 4 more on this side. Over, making sure my big toes pointing forward. Press. 2 more. Over, hold, press. Last one. Over, we'll hold this a little bit longer, this one, for 5. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. When you're ready, let's swap. And then get myself prepared on this other side so I make sure the knee tracks right over that big toe. Hands on the top. I drive the knee over. And it might feel a little bit of discomfort, especially if you're not used to it. You might find the tension at the front of the ankle, or you might find the pull at the back. That's just all giving you good information. All right, so over, hold, and up. Remember, you can do this standing with the foot on a chair and just doing the same motion. See if you can keep the heel down. I just noticed my heel wanted to come up then for 3, or it might want to like jut out into a different direction. So I'm really making sure that this knee tracks forward. 2, and this last time we're going to hold a little longer. So hold, keep the weight. I might even reach my hands forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming out of that. All right, we're gonna stretch our calves a little bit next. So I haven't got a mat, so a firm surface is actually quite good for this one. So I'm gonna stay on all fours, slide my right leg back so it's straight, tuck my toe, and then from here I'm just driving the heel back and then forward. So drive the heel back and forward. Back. Giving a stretch through the back of that Achilles and calf. One more. And then switch, knee down, other leg back, drive the heel back. And if you find you've got a tight spot, you can just hold it. Back. Nice work. Last one, drive the heel back, get that stretch. And then come back down. This time you can actually tuck your toes and come into a down dog. Make sure your hips are fit width apart, not too narrow. Drive one heel down and bend the other leg. And just hold that for a moment and then switch. So we're just getting ourselves a stretch through our calves here. So the back of the leg. And switch. And switch. And switch. A few more of these. So let's go for 5. And switch. And 4. Giving these calves some love. And switch. 3. And switch. 2. And switch. Last one. And 1. And switch. So good. Coming on down. The last exercise I want to show you is actually in the deep squat. A really fun one to work on our ankle mobility and really prime our ankles to feel more comfortable in a deep squat. So if you can't get your heels onto the ground, grab a towel, roll it up, and come into your deep squat. From here, one leg at a time, we're going to drive the knee forward and we're going to lightly, really lightly kiss the floor with our knee and then bring ourselves back to the deep squat so the heel is on the towel or the ground. Then we change sides. So I now transfer my weight here. I lengthen the knee, touch, and I come back down. That's 2. Drive. So we're going to slowly go from side to side. 3. Try not to bang the knee down onto the ground if you can. We want a lot of control. If you like, it might help to just have the hands down in front of you. You can just have the fingertips on the floor for a little bit of support. Or if you want more challenge, you have the hands off the ground. Coming back into your deep squat each time. Tap and come down. Let's go for 4 more. For 4. 3, 2, and 1, and come down. So good. Now you can run through that whole routine a couple of times through, or it might be a routine that you just do once per day. If you specifically want to work on ramping up your ankle mobility so that your squat feels way more comfortable and your ankles are way more healthier, the joints there, so that your everything from walking to going downstairs feels even more comfortable. If you have any questions about anything we went through today, comment below. We would love you to like our video, subscribe to our channel, reach out if there's any specific things that you want us to put out to you, and I look forward to moving with you soon.